Every smile matters, and we are smiling away our ways into this conversation with Frederick and Mutombo, the poet, talking and navigating the creative economy. Okay, so first, for those who may not understand what the creative economy is, I would let them explain that and then get into how they became creators or creatives, however you will want to put that. Who do I start with?
Fred.
Okay, Fred. And you're welcome to the show. We're glad to have you here this morning.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. So you basically want what we think the creator economy is.
Yes.
So I think one word that's been thrown around a lot is new media. And that's encompassing your podcasts, your vlogs, basically a democratized way of getting to publish yourself, whatever information you want to share, if you're an artist, whatever the case may be. And I think we fit in that industry from the standpoint of being podcasters. Yeah. Mutombo was active on social media. He's also a creative as an entertainer. And ideas, thoughts that we wanted to share that didn't want to channel through traditional media. So podcast was a platform that we figured would allow us to, still be creative and share what we had on our minds with the world without having to go through the traditional, system. So that's what I would call the create. You have influencers, all these people fill up into the creator media space. And I think that's basically what we're speaking about.
Yes. Okay, so Mutombo, how would you identify a creator or a creative? Because I'm asking because there are so many people who right now are unable to draw the line between who a creative or a creator is. I'm going to use Kwesi Arthur as a typical example in asking you this question. In recent times, we've seen him do food reviews, right?
And some people, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, and some people it's not sitting well with them. But I'm like, this person has been creating music. He's still in the space. He's not far from it, right? So just break it down for us.
Yeah, and also talking about Kwesi, shout out to Kwesi. Now, doing music only doesn't really pay. Right? No matter how huge you are, trust me, you should have something on the side, especially here in Ghana, where streams don't pay, anything at all. So I do understand Kwesi Arthur, and not just here in the States. We see rappers, people who are still top rappers, having their own podcast, getting into quote unquote the weed business and all that. Because Charlie, if you do, this art form alone, being a singer, a rapper, it won't pay. So I do understand him a lot, and he should keep on doing what he's doing. Yeah, but your question.
So I was saying that what would it take for someone to describe themselves as a creator or a creative? What does being a creator or a creative entail?
I mean, being a creator basically means producing something that is from you, that is from, deep within. And for us, we felt that we could talk very, very well. Fred is a very, very good talker. I don't talk much. We thought that, we could talk very, very well, if we form a tag team, we could talk very, very well. And there was a gap back then when it came to the podcasting and all that, and audio space. So we were like, then let's start, a podcast. But to identify a creator is basically someone who is doing something fresh, new, and from them. Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys think the world has now understood or accepted that creatives can touch on different art forms? Back in the day, if you're an artist and you're doing anything else, you've fallen off. You're not selling records. That's why you're doing this. Yeah. So people don't necessarily disagree with the fact that you're doing something else, but it's like you're not doing what we're used to.
Yeah.
Do you guys think the world now understands that you can actually do multiple stuff? You can make music and say on the podcast. Because Arthur can be a food critic and make a drum tomorrow, right? Yeah. Are we there yet with the fact that because of social media and everybody's touching on these different, creative spaces?
Well, thank you for your question. Now, just to add to what you're saying, I like that, but I think it's about them expecting you to reach a certain height or attain a certain feat before doing other things. Because people have been doing other things forever, right? I mean, Diddy was selling us Sean John. But because he was big, nobody saw it as another hustle. Right? 50 was selling us G Unit.
In fact, I think that in,
so it's
in
about
the
how
Hollywood
big
space,
So they want you to be big in your space
a lot
first.
of them have had a lot of businesses going on for
Yeah,
them
for
beyond the
eons,
entertainment that they
Yeah.
do, and it's okay. It's
No,
been
but it's
okay.
when it's creative. When it's creative spaces, right? Like, again, you're making music, but as you were saying, if you're not the biggest rapper in the world and you become an actor or an actress, or it's because the music is not doing well.
The scale also matters. If you are a musician, right, and let's say you are mid-tier, you're like B plus at best artist, and then you have to do, you're trying to go into Lenny Beaters. They go see Amaziawa. But if you got a deal with an international beverage brand, or you were trying to push a franchise for an international beverage brand, it's flex. Do you get the difference? So I think there's a lot of entitlement and judgmental mindset around it also, because if they are-
Entitlement from the fans.
yeah, I mean, the fans that they tell you every day, Charlie. They talk every day because why are you coming for Kwesiata? If let's say a global food brand was flying him around and he was doing
Nobody
reviews
would say
of fine
Nobody would say
restaurants.
anything.
And
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
what
yeah,
I,
it's
like
blah,
I
blah, blah.
see that's happening.
Yeah,
for
and it's
Isiaka, and it's okay.
oh yeah, Charlie, right now they would you think they were in the boardroom? They went to hype the situation. Well, no, there be some move from they could take and it's bad.
Yeah.
But he's doing that homegrown and organically now, and it's oh my god, he's falling off.
Yeah.
He's doing
But
food now.
is it that he has pivoted from music completely?
Bro,
He
your
hasn't
man is
pivoted
just
from
having fun,
music.
bro. Your man is just he has a TikTok account.
Yeah.
He has a right like all of us to say something.
Yeah.
And do whatever
You know,
he
and
wants.
do whatever he
to put in
wants.
that
And I
account.
actually think it's really
And
cool.
he's been on high school tours recently.
yeah.
He's given us music,
Yeah.
so it's not like he's
And you see,
taking
that's
a break
another entitlement
from
of the
music.
fans. The fans have relegated high schools to the come up.
Yeah.
So you can go and engage high schools when you're underground and coming. But I will be tied that
If
you blow and you look
Yeah.
back at the high school, you tend to salt.
But it's
you
not.
know,
It
so
shouldn't
it's,
be the case.
yeah, it shouldn't be.
Shouldn't be the case.
Shouldn't be.
Well, Fred and Mutombo, you two have a podcast.
Yeah.
If more, let's divide,
yeah.
right? In getting into the podcast space as well, did you face any of these holdbacks in saying that
Who came up with the
you
name?
do other things? We are going to get into that if it's a mathematical mind who
I
got
mean
into
them,
that,
pal.
because I know that in math we say if more, less
Less divide, yeah.
but this is let's divide, or
yeah.
let us
Divide,
divide.
yes.
Okay, so we will get into that conversation. But in getting into the podcast as well, did you have anyone questioning, oh, why are you doing podcasts? You guys are creators in your own right. Why do you want to start a podcast?
Yeah. So there is something that I like about us, right? I've known Fred for a long time. Back then, he was stuck up. Like he was, you know,
what they say.
he still is, right? You know, in school, no one could talk to him anyhow because
school?
It's St. Martin Paris.
Okay.
Yeah, because he was that guy and is still that guy. What I like about us is that we don't care about what the next person says about what we are doing. And for me personally, that is how I have been from jump. In 2005, when I started spoken word in Ghana, it was
20 years.
yeah,
Congratulations.
Yeah, no one was doing it, and people kept on hitting me. What is this? Why won't you rap? Why don't you do this? You know, but even though I knew that it was new to this space, I still didn't pay no mind to anyone. So for us, right? And it's a truth, 100% truth. We don't care about
Who's
what
Wolverine and who's Deadpool?
we don't care about what anyone would say, because we know that, like Cyril said it in a way earlier, the fans, as you listen to them, you are rather killing yourself from within. So yeah, for us, people were saying things, but nah, we just had to.
For the
do
fans
it.
who don't understand that statement, can we just break it down a little bit? Because the fan listening
Which
is like,
statement?
like the fan. Sorry, what you just said, you know. I mean, if you listen to the fans,
Yeah, you are going to kill
yeah. Because the fan listening is like, I'm a fan. I purchase your music. I
Yeah.
purchase your content.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you listen to me?
Yeah.
What would be your answer to that?
So if you are creating something for someone else, that is totally wrong. I feel you have to create for yourself first, whether you are a painter, whether you are a poet, whether you are a rapper, whether you are doing podcasting. It should be about you first. You are doing, unless you are intentionally doing it for the cash, that one you would go on your mic or on your podcast and say things that people would like. Talk about sex, talk about everything.
Or
But
imaginarily kill Sina Soul.
yeah,
Oh, Cyril.
What?
Fact.
Why you've not seen what's happening?
no. I've not been on social media recently. Yeah, so if you are doing something for your fans, then you might as well not do it at all, because for me it won't give me satisfaction.
That inherent reason of why you started. Okay, I get that. That makes sense.
I mean, I think another way to put it is authenticity, right? I think that's what the core of what he's speaking to is. If you're authentic and if you're a human being and you're creative and you want to say something about the world around you, chances are there's so many experiences that we go through as human beings that is common to every human experience, that if you're true to self and you observe the world around you and you want to express that, people are going to find a connection to that. So your mode of creation, in my humble opinion, shouldn't be about what's the hardest topic to talk about. But if you reach deep within yourself to try and create from that perspective, that is the way to connect with the world around you. And therefore, the fans are going to get something that's valuable from you being authentic. That is why you don't listen to the fan, because each fan has their own experience that they might want you to, touch on.
Yeah.
But if you're being true to self, then you're going to bring out what's true within you, as opposed to dealing with a scripted message. And that's why I guess it's not to say screw the fan, it's to say that as a creative you have to look within yourself to try and bring something authentic out. And that's basically I think what Mutombo is.
I love what they say,
so
because one of my favorite producers ever, Rick Rubin, he says that he doesn't
Shouts.
care. Rubin, he will do what he wants to do, and it's always worked out.
Because the artists carry the consequence. That's the only thing. If Kwesi Ada goes around doing what everybody thinks, everybody else gets to do what they want to do in their life. And he gets to deal with the consequence.
True.
And then it waters down his authenticity as well. So I think that once you stay true to
that's the road
it's
to depression,
important.
doing what everybody wants except yourself.
True. So let's talk about the name of the podcast, which I think is amazing. I first found out about your podcast when you hosted Serial.
That was one of our dopa episodes.
Yes, I was. Oh, look at him. When I saw it, I was like, oh, that's actually a nice name. So how did we craft that name? Because I don't think it's a name that anyone has really thought about. Like I said, all we know is even more, let's divide. And math is really traumatic for some people.
Especially me. So especially me. So the name, we had a bunch of names, right? But for me, the best ideas come to me at dawn. So one dawn, I remember I was somewhere. And I woke up very, very cold. I woke up, and a day before I'd written so many names, logos and all that, so many names. And Fred is very, very busy with work, so I had to do it. And one morning I woke up and I'm like, if we are going to talk about different things, let's see everything as a whole. And we are going to sit down to break things, like to divide things. So why not, if more, let's divide at first. And that stuck with me for a few hours. Now I'm like, nah. So I went online, if more, let's divide, because I had forgotten me math. I suck at math. And then I'm like, this wouldn't make sense. So what can I? So I threw it away for like a day or two and went back to it. And it just hit me. If more, let's divide. Let us divide. First it was let us divide. I'm like, no, it should be, so I'm like, let's divide. Basically means if we have something to talk about, like a ball, and want to see what's inside, we definitely have to sit close together and divide it and see what's inside. So that's basically what
I think it's a really nice play on words. So shout to you.
I'm a poet too. So.
Yes. I think what I was just going to say to that is, the crux of what he's saying is the poet in him came out. I think it's one of the most poetic ways to put a conversation. if more, let's divide.
divide.
Let's break it down.
Yeah.
There's so many ways that you can take it. So it's a name that I like, absolutely love. Kudos,
Call
to,
Mutombo a Don.
kudos to Mutombo's Dawn inspiration.
Dawn inspiration.
Dawn
indeed.
inspiration.
Aromache.
Now, Ghana's creator economy, right? What are your thoughts about it? Do you think that it is okay for, because I think that with the creator space, anyone can come up as a creator at
Yeah.
any time,
Yeah.
choose a niche at any time, and do whatever they want to do. Of course, once it's not harming anybody, it's fair, right? But do you also think that Ghanaians understand the space and times that we are in now?
I mean,
Basically, can we read the room? Sometimes.
so I may have a controversial opinion on this. I don't know. I don't personally think it's controversial, but people may think it is. I think one of the issues that people will run into when it comes to being a creator is because media has been democratized so much, you can just pick up a phone and publish yourself. People don't actually hone in on their craft. So it's a gazillion people on TikTok. Why should I watch you?
Yeah.
There's a gazillion people on podcasts. Why should I listen to you? And everyone is throwing their hat in the ring because it's cool to do it, it's fun to do it, but are you passionate about it? And personally, I have a day job, 9 to 5, where I'm, like you said, I'm quite busy doing work, but I give a lot of thought into what the podcast is about, what we're going to talk about. I give it time, I give it energy, I give it research, and also a world of experience that I'm bringing from my personal life, that I'm coming here to be real and authentic, to share with people what I think is valuable. Not just because I want to be famous or I want to be seen or whatever the case may be. That's really not the point for me. It's like, what kind of impact can you make? So I think even though we have such a democratized environment, people should be a bit more thoughtful, because if you have what you call like fast food type of content, you're like a fad. Everyone's, oh, okay, this girl is funny, but because she's doing something stupid, not because she has a well thought out, like, joke about something that draws you back in, and once you go back and listen to her, she's being, anybody can shake their ass, anybody could do this, anybody could do that. But I think for me, this gives an opportunity for people to really think through what they want to present to the world and how to have longevity, because longevity is going to be more, it's going to require more out of you than just doing what's like, the hardest thing of the moment. So for me, I think, I don't know if that answers your question, but I think
We need to understand.
you have to be
that
more intentional.
intentional. Right.
Should I?
Yeah, if you have anything to add.
I mean, I do agree with him because we are co-hosts, so whatever he says, but I mean, you said, is the Ghanaian ready, or do they understand? Do we understand?
Yeah.
I feel that we do understand, right? But I will hit on what Fred said. And let's say the phone penetration now in Ghana, I don't know the stats quite recently, but some years ago I checked. We still have people who don't have internet, who don't understand the internet. It's like they say, when you are online on Twitter and Instagram, and you don't think that the Ghana is seeing it, because there are many people out there who don't, So on that front, I just hope that the cell phone or data penetration would, so that these, influencers especially, but for me, I have been there, I have done that, right? I have kids now, right? So I ask myself, what do I want my kids to listen to consume and all that? We all need fun in our lives. Look, I watch Akabeneza. There are some people online who are so fun, and I would watch them once in a while. But majority of what I see, one, they are not original. They are dope. Don't get me wrong. Pictures and all that, everything is dope. But it's like everybody is doing the same thing. Like, a day in a life. Okay, so I woke up and brushed my teeth, and on my way, and you go to the next page and it's the same thing. like I need to see original, stuff.
Content.
Yeah.
Okay, so that will lead me into asking you how you have navigated the creator economy and the creator space.
So, as a poet, right? And so, I was off for a very, very long time because I had to take a break, family, and I was also working with someone, for 5 years. And how did I
Let's talk about it.
We can.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
Serious.
You said don't do
How did I navigate? Back then it wasn't like now where cell phones you can go online and do whatever you like. It was tough. It was very, very, people didn't understand what I was doing. There were no spaces to perform until somewhere a British Council or American Embassy would
bless the mic.
Yeah, bless the mic. There were no enough spaces. People didn't get what I was, doing, and finding, stations like this to even talk to you was tough. But and my wish now is then my phone, internet. I'll just shoot.
Okay.
And I would have been a Jay-Z
by now.
By now.
It's not too late.
Which I love.
It's not too late. But Fred, how would you say that those who are looking to enter this creator space should navigate the economy? Beyond the authenticity that you speak on, right? How should the little ones do it? Because for some of these little ones as well, they are consuming everything and anything, right? So streamlining whatever content that you want to put out.
Cliche, but they say we live in a global village, right? And so the world is your oyster. You put something online, it doesn't necessarily have to blow in Ghana. It can blow anywhere else if the algorithm is not fucking with you. Excuse my French. Are you guys allowed to cut?
Fair.
All right, cool.
Fine.
But
It's too late now. NCA already went.
So I guess the idea of entering the space for me would be beyond authenticity, understanding the market. I think sometimes you also get caught up in, being too hard on ourselves because Ghana is Ghana. Well, our population is the population, and you can only reach so many people in terms of scale when you start from a local level. So I believe that if you're being mindful of what you're trying to achieve and it has a monetary aspect to it, then you need to understand the market, where you can be most impactful and where you can have longevity. So if you combine those things and you're trying to be real and authentic to yourself, you can put out a product that, even if it doesn't reach the masses, you can have a niche of people that support you, a community that supports your work, and you can thrive and still, I guess, be the best version of the creativity that you're putting out into the world, or if you want to say artist or the creator that you are, then you can be the best version of that, thing that you have created within our local space.
Okay, now this will go to both of you. Mutombo mentioned earlier that if you are doing music in any part of the world, you're not getting paid that much, right? Also, we've seen creators come up and they've made so much from live streaming, from just putting up their stuff on YouTube, racking up the numbers and all of that, right? Creator pay, when it comes to these parts of the world, we are told that is way less than counterparts outside. So let's say for the if more, let's divide. If more, let's divide podcast, right? For someone else replicating the same thing outside of Africa, they're probably making so much more than you, right? So what keeps you going? What keeps you, doing what you do? Also beyond passion.
You want to go?
It's how they both look.
They are rich men.
They are rich men.
You see, they can't answer.
So our mantra has always been to be real and to be honest. Our producer just had a chat with us before we even came in, so I'm going to listen to him. But the truth is that Mutombo and I, for all intents and purposes, can afford to sit down and talk and just to do it. right? So I think it takes away that pressure of needing to make something out of it. But luckily for us, there have been people who have shown interest, who have partnered with us. We are partnered with Atunwa. Shout out to Atunwa. For a couple of seasons now. And other, brands who have reached out wanting to work with us and whatnot. But that's not the focal point of what we do. Our job is to make impact,
right?
To come sit, have a real conversation, and make sure that it reaches as many people as possible. And we're constantly telling people to subscribe, to not for the monetary aspect of it, but we want the message, the conversations to reach as many people as possible. And I think once we've done that, we feel satisfied that, okay, this no be where Kukuku come from. So we are cool. But then when people come to speak to us as well, we're in a position of having some leverage, because we're not so desperate. We're not going to take just anything, and therefore the conversation is more meaningful, strategic, and then we take it from there. But
I was actually going to add. So we've had people come to us, several people come to us. Oh, we want to help. We want to be a part of this. We want to pump in money and all that. But we have this thing where we agree that we are going to build this for a while, until we hit something. Because if we are here and you are coming to give us money, you are not going to give us enough. So after we have built this, then we will start looking at people. But we actually did a deal with Atunwa. It's not really a deal because Atunwa, one, we are friends, and all that, I know them and all that. So we're like, okay, fine, let's do this. And they are into, help with a few things.
Okay, I'm happy you touched on investment, right? Because I think that across the space, the creative space as well, not only podcasting, for the artist, for the poets, for the comedians, for the actors and actresses, one thing we also speak on is investment opportunities or lack of, right? And we don't seem to get that. And so even if you are so passionate, you want to chase purpose as much, it becomes difficult if you don't have the wherewithal to do so, right? So I'm glad that you have touched on it, and then you also have a plan to build it to a certain level to do that, right? So also for the if more let's divide, right? What would you say has been the highlight of this whole podcast for you so far?
So for me personally, meeting guests, even though most of the guests I am cool with them, meeting guests, getting to hear their story, and taking things, bit by bit from different people who come on the podcast. Another highlight for me is to just record with Fred and with the rest of the crew. For the episodes itself, Charlie, everybody brings different things. Like Cyril was on, and we had a few bars from him. Serious guy. We've had someone who is trans, on the podcast. We've had different people, and getting to know their story and who they are.
How much of the podcast is therapy for the two of you?
I don't even consider it therapy, to be honest. I just find it very curious. You're one interest. I'm not saying it because you're here. I've said it before.
Yeah.
But the level of intellect. I'm somebody. I hate that word sapiosexual. I don't think that's what I am. But
I understand if you say that, because I think people have abused the word so much.
But I'm really interested in people's intellect and how they reason. So there's a couple of people who have been very impactful. Beat Menace was one. Serial was one. And then there's another, actually, Men Says That. I find very intellectually curious, because Mutombo was hammering away at trying to get to make a point with him, because the background story is we're family. Men Says That. And Mutombo was trying to get something. And the way the man so skillfully navigated the entire podcast without paying attention to what Mutombo, he needs to be given an award for it. Like, it was.
I should go and watch that.
The man is such a skilled interviewee. Like, he sat there, and Mutombo, ask him a direct question, and he would navigate and navigate.
Yeah.
And by the time we're almost done, I just had to. I'm like, do you think our generation is soft? And he just poured it all out. Yes, you people are. And it basically was a climax to all of the questions that Mutombo, in my opinion, had been asking him. But he crystallized it in that moment. So, yeah, we've had wonderful highlight moments. I mean, very interesting guests. But I think for us, or for me, let me say, getting to know the minds of others has been very interesting. You might have an opinion one way, and then you sit down to talk to someone, you get their perspective, and you're like, wow, you may not change your mind, but you learn. And that has always been great for me. I mean, as in terms of highlights. So
Okay. Now, to just close in on the conversation, I have two questions. The second one will be what I said I was going to ask you, the three of you first, right? But how have you guys successfully, right, in all of this, the fact that you like working together, you want to chase a certain purpose, you are authentic and all of that, how have you navigated the creator economy? How they both keep looking at each other before
Yeah, because Fred talks better than me.
Okay.
So most of the time, I want him to
Him
go
to answer.
first, then I'll tap in.
Okay.
yeah, I don't even agree that I speak better. I think we have different approaches, but I always piggyback off of him. I learned from him as well. I think the way that we've navigated the creator economy, if I'm being honest, is he doesn't like for me to say this, but a lot of what we have done and accomplished has been easier, or let's say easy, because of Mutombo's skill set. His background that he brings to the table is he's a technical guy. So he's editing, show. He's very involved in the shooting of it, helping the guys who are shooting the video, directing them, telling them what to do. Then he has to sit with the material, chop it up and all of that. So for me, it's been like, okay, just put your clothes on and come and look cute. Sit there and just talk shit, right? But the bones and the cracks of what we do, we didn't have to seek out somebody from outside to help us put structure to what we're doing. Whereas we had somebody in-house who was part of he was basically the founding member of what we were doing, being intricate to what we do in terms of the technical aspects of it. And I think that's very vital. If you're getting into a space like that, you need to be able to navigate. But also speaking more to it is about community. Mutombo had a huge community around that he had worked tirelessly for over a decade. So when you start out something like that, reaching out to people to even get them to come on the show, because who are you? Why should they talk to you?
Right.
What's this podcast about? It's difficult. But our first guest was Mensa, then One Love, then all these people who had a following came on to support us before we mixed it up with just regular folks and whatnot. So I'll say that, let me crystallize this. I think Mutombo's technical skill set was vital to us navigating, and then the community that he had worked so tirelessly to help build brought on guests, and we've been able to survive and thrive because of those things primarily. And then I think that's why I'll leave it at.
Yeah, Chow, thanks for the shout. Yeah, I would also add this, right? For me, I believe in learning little things, especially things that you like, things that you love, So with the phone, I have made money off my phone before just by taking pictures. Apple, years back, I did things with Apple and Instagram. So anything I love, I try to enter it some more. So how to film, how to edit, how to color grade, how to do that. I know how to do bits and pieces. I might not be the dawn at any of them, but I know how. And that has helped us, navigate this space because one, we didn't have anyone pump money in. It is us. Yeah. And if we are to hire people to come and work for us, we are going to eventually spend more money paying these guys. So I think if you are in the space, if you create, try to learn things. Try to learn different things. Yeah.
DIY.
Yeah.
DIY.
Yeah.
Okay. So the last question will then be, I asked some people in the morning, right? What have you been saving up to get over time that you've not been able to get yet?
That is a gadget.
Someone said they want to get away, and then another person said they want to get a life. So what would it be for you?
Wow. What's Fred?
Saving up
Too hot
to,
now, is it?
This is gonna sound a bit arrogant, but
Hey.
I don't recall ever saving for anything in particular. I've just tried to make my life such that financially, the things that I want are within my means, and then I live my life based on that. So I want an Aston Martin, but it's not top of my mind right now.
Whoa.
I know that when I get there, I will just buy it. And it won't be like, oh my God, Charlie, the savings, it reach you. You know, it just has to be, I believe living your life within your means as a mantra. Like saving towards something feels a bit like I'm, you know,
You're not there yet.
yeah, and I'm pinching from somewhere else. So I'm suffocating myself in order to get to a thing. And I'm guaranteed that by the time I get to it, the satisfaction, I'll be so annoyed that I starve myself and these things may be here, you know. And then so I try to live within my means, within the moment, and get what I can afford, and I move on.
Right. Okay.
So-
Mutombo.
I draw 2 once and the same
Aston
car.
Martin,
Yeah.
We'll ride together.
Yay.
So Cyril was saying a gadget. Yes. But now, especially in the last 2 years, my perspective has changed, you know, because the gadgets, back then I was so into gadgets. Back then I wanted to travel. Now I can basically go anywhere that I want to. But for the past 2 years, I have been praying for calmness. I have been praying for more transparency. I've been praying to love human beings more, and also to, you know, just let things go. So, and you think you are there, but you'll be driving and a trotro, you know, will do something and everything will go down the drain. But it is work in, you know, progress. But now if you ask me, like, I wish I could buy, you know, more love. I wish I could have some sense of calmness, and also to let things go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That means he has all the gadgets already.
Yeah, he has everything he needs. Jason, what would it be for you? And we're wrapping up on that.
Me, time freedom.
Time and freedom.
Time
Okay.
freedom.
Because
Time,
he's,
have
freedom. Okay,
ownership.
freedom
Oh,
of
okay.
time. Okay, okay,
he's
okay.
already up there. He's already
No,
Hey.
no, he wants an Aston Martin. I want a Porsche 911.
I like the Porsche too.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we race sometime.
Yeah.
One day,
Fingers
fingers crossed, sometime. Thank you so much for
Thank you,
coming,
thank you.
Fred
Thanks for having
and
us.
Mutombo. And we've been talking, navigating the creator economy. Okay, now, Mutombo wants to say.
Season 7 starts on the 17th of this month.
Okay.
Booyaka.
Okay. And you guys have done amazing because
Yeah.
7 seasons
Yeah,
is
yeah,
not.
yeah.
How many
Yeah.
episodes per season?
So
have you had?
first season was 22, second season was 22 episodes. Then from the third season, we started to cut it down to 12.
Okay, to do the regular
Yeah,
number of
yeah, yeah,
seasons
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Okay. That's great. Anyway, so thank you for coming. Congratulations
you.
on your
Thank you for having
7th
us.
season and keep going. Keep, you know, juggling and doing everything that you are doing
Thank
as
you.
creators, and then also keep having these thought-provoking conversations, right?
Thank you so much.
We
Gracias.
appreciate you all, and thanks for coming, guys. It has been the big conversation on the Culture Daily Morning Show. Cyril, do you want to say something?
No.
You seem like you're staring into my soul. What is it?
I like your soul.
Ah, goodness.
I like your
Okay, it's been the Culture Daily Morning Show, and we've been here since 7 a.m. We are back again tomorrow on the last episode for this week. Okay, so if you missed it, you can catch us tomorrow. You're at home, so you don't really have an excuse to turn on your TV and watch us on Theme Music TV, or turn on your radio and listen to us on Plus 89.9 FM. It's been Jason LA, Cyril, and Lenny Lomote on the Culture Daily Morning Show with Fred and Mutombo. Enjoy the rest of our programming. Signing out. Have a good day. Bye bye.